right, welcome to Landslide News this morning. On News Insights, we have to talk about what is happening in our politics. Yesterday, we ended with issues with PDP shifting their convention almost indefinitely, and that might end up impacting on their shifting their NEC meeting rather, and that might end up impacting their convention. We'll get back to that, but this morning I want us to start with the news we had yesterday on LP. Once again, it appears that Nenadi Usman's version of LP hardly does anything until Abure does something. Abure was able to meet with the INEC Acting Chairman and all other political leaders in their quarterly usual meeting, and Nenadi Usman's fashion is kicking that INEC is being partial by allowing Abure alongside other political party leaders to attend that quarterly meeting. You begin to wonder, Philip, doing nothing and allowing LP to remain in limbo or perpetual comatose. Is that what Nenadi Usman's fashion want? Then, like most obedience have said, Abure is compromised. Remaining in a position where people will begin to think you are compromised. Is that what Abure want? How will they work to save labor? And how will Nenadi Usman's fashion think of how being more legal in their approach, such that Labour Party can bounce back again? Because the non-recognition of Abure that she is citing, I don't think there was any direct court ruling on that. It was an affidavit.
Yes, you see, the ad boss of Nenadi, the Obedient, and the Nenadi group is a laughable ad boss. Why do I have to say so? They are laid down rules and procedures in all of this. Let me say this, because you have always said, which is the true position.
Yeah.
There are channels of communication between INEC and political parties, and the channels of communication as put forward, or rather as in the Electoral Act, is the national chairman of the party and the national secretary that could sign a letter to INEC that conveys the message of a party to INEC, and INEC communicate through same channel to the party through the chairman and the secretary. Now, Agbamuche just assumed office as the national acting chairman of INEC, and he needed to hold this, quarterly meetings with the political parties. The only name that is still in their portal as regard the Labour Party, it is Abure, and he was communicated to attend, the meeting. Now, going back to your question, why is it that it's only when Abure does something that the Nenadi group will always counter it? That's why I said her ad boss is laughable. The reason is that if they understand what the political party stands for, they should know better. Because, like you said, this man Nenadi is an experienced politician
who
has served Nigeria at various
capacities,
levels, both at the state level and at the national level. Now, the political party main objective is to present candidate for every election organized by the Independent National Electoral Commission, which is INEC. Abure had an opportunity, because there's an issue. The FCT Council election is coming up next year, and almost every other political party candidate has been uploaded, or except that of Labour Party. So Abure used the opportunity to push forward how his party, the Labour Party, can be part of the election, which is the primary aims of the Labour Party being in existence. And the Nenadi will now come to say that INEC is biased. So it's a confused state. You see, yesterday we talked about confusion, and this is the confusion. The truth remains that when you look at the whole thing, Nenadi is right to a large extent, because he alleges that the INEC has, under oath, alleged that Abure is no longer the party chairman.
Yeah.
So why is it that INEC is inviting him for a meeting? Is that is amount to appropriating and reprobating at the same time? But if you look at it, Abure is also working for the sustenance of the party. If you follow this one of Usman Nenadi, you means that you have to borrow your word. Say does he want the party to remain in perpetual comatose? So if you say that because there's an allegation on affidavit that Abure is no longer the chairman, then the party should remain in limbo. So what is how will the party progress?
All right, Peter, let me come to you. Labour Party has won elections before even P2B decided to join Labour Party. Olusegun Mimiko was a governor of Ondo, and what's Mimiko? What's his second name? And he used LP. You understand? So a lot of people like that. I think somewhere in Ibadan again.
Even in Delta, came to the Senate via the ticket.
Yeah, a lot of people have won elections. So meaning that sustaining the party is still very important. Now, Abure has, with the opportunity he got, tried to push forward names of candidates for this FCT local election. We don't have anyone from Nenadi. And Nenadi has not tried to write INEC, let INEC reject, and we know you not. So that Abure people can also pick it that you have been rejected. You understand? So what is Nenadi serving in LP? Because LP need to be alive. If it is alive, then P2B may decide to use it tomorrow. If obedience can conquer or find a way of finding out whether, like they have alleged, that Abure is compromised, whether he is or not.
The issue still remains that that these both sides need to work. They want to work closely. They want to find a way to close their rank for the betterment of the party. For me, because I was quite interested in what happened in Labour. I was taken aback when the candidate for municipal election in Abuja we now uploaded. Some INEC accepted the candidate for Anambra election. So when this Abuja one was rejected, we were all taken aback. Why? What change? And Abure went to court. And what happened? It was in that court that a lot of things came out. INEC told Abure they deposited an affidavit that Abure time has expired. I think Abure's prayer was turned down by the court. I think on the 15th of August, his prayers were turned down. And a lot of people went to town celebrating, showing it, singing praises that he has ended. Honestly, some of us feel that labor issues has come to an end. We feel that that is the end of it. They should now start planning way forward. But between that August till now, there has not been any plan made by Nenadi fashion on how to move Labour Party forward. We've not heard of any reconciliatory meeting called by her faction. We've not heard of any NEC meeting. They have not heard of any move by her own group to see how to get Labour candidates get involved in this last coming elections in the FCT. No. So where this vacuum exists, somebody stepped in, which is Abure. Yes, a lot of obedience have issues with Abure. But if Nenadi has stepped in to see how to resolve this issue with INEC or how to get their candidate to contest in these elections, Abure wouldn't have come in. This topic wouldn't have been here. But they did nothing this time they had no program to move this party forward. And Abure was invited. Abure stepped in to see how to resolve this matter. Yes. Was it right for INEC to invite Abure? I wouldn't sit there and say yes or no. Or did he go as an observer? We'll find out maybe later in the day. But the truth remains that the Nenadi faction has done nothing tangible between August and today on how to resolve this issue. These are people under your party that bought a special of form. They bought form to contest in this election. They had a primary somewhere in Gwarimpa, and these people were chosen to run for election. INEC had decided not to include them. What have you done to resolve these matters? Nothing. So if they truly care about labor, if the Nenadi truly care about labor, see, celebrating that Abure has been removed is not it. It's calling for a meeting, calling for how to resolve the issues. Issues still remains. Is she recognized by INEC? She that is celebrating? I don't think so. If she's recognized, her name will be on the portal. What has she done to resolve that?
Okay, let me come to this. Political party is a home to many people and many candidates and many future leaders. It appears why it is important P2B brought traction, a very, very big attraction to Labour. He didn't win the election according to INEC, okay? But somebody has been governor, like I stated, Dr. Olusegun. I think somebody, I can't remember if Ladoja, I can't remember somebody that used it as also a governor either in Oyo State or whatever. So being a governor, becoming a governor with a Labour Party before OT did it, it's a remarkable progress. So that party needed to be organized and put in place. The only highest spot they are waiting for is just to be president. So are they sacrificing just about any other thing because they think there is this distrust with Abure about featuring Obi and things like that? There are other positions come 2027. Why? Nenadi is a very experienced politician. She has served this country at various capacities, served Kaduna at various capacities. Why is she always not coming out until Abure does something? What do you think is responsible for that? Do you think that internally she feels that there is no legal organ of Labour Party that actually appointed her? Because one thing I know you know very well, for INEC to recognize you as a national officer, even though you are at acting capacity, at the NEC meeting where you will be ratified or made a substantive personnel or official of the party, INEC must be in attendance. And the party must have notified that NEC, I think in 21 days notice, and for INEC to attend that NEC meeting. So it is those that INEC recognized at that level. You may have an acting person or at National Working Committee, but to become substantive at the NEC, INEC must be in attendance. And INEC could not be dealing with Nenadi because there is no court order or any organ of the party in NEC or convention that appointed Nenadi. Could that be the reason why she's not really administering the party? Only wait to when Abure does something or says something for them to counter and say INEC has taken side and start quoting the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court judgment that we got, what did it tell us?
Very well. You see, this is the confusion in this country. Confusion everywhere. Confusion in the political parties, confusion in INEC, confusion in the Senate, confusion everywhere. Confusion in the street. Because let's look at it critically. Nenadi, is he official member? Is he a party official of the Labour Party? At what point has he become official party official? Because you just said that the law requires 21 days notice to INEC for a NEC to hold and take decision, and for that decision to be effective, INEC has to witness it.
Yes,
and submit returns to INEC. Did that happen in the so-called NEC meeting they held at Transcorp Heat in Abuja? That Nenadi was emerged as the national chairman of, or rather the acting national chairman of the Labour Party. Who are the people who are there? Because if you are going to hold a NEC meeting that will produce the leaders of the party, who are the NEC members? It is the state party chairman, party member elected to the National Assembly, to the State House of Assembly. Who were those in attendance in that NEC meeting? So you see that Nenadi has no legal standing to speak for Labour. So Nenadi can be seen at best as a confusionist in Labour Party because she has no locus to do what she is doing. Instead of helping to build Labour Party, she's helping to destroy Labour Party. You should allow Abure to carry out his responsibility.
Or hold Abure to account.
If he has agrees he's a member of the party, there are ways to call Abure to order to make him accountable and not to cause destruction. Like you said, is it that the party is only interested in producing the president of this country? What about the councillors, the council chairmen, the State House of Assembly member, the governors, the senators, and the House of Rep? Don't their interest matters? So it's a very pathetic situation.
I think here you said something. You said Nenadi is an experienced politician. He's been in a political space.
Yeah, she should know what to do.
But she has not shown it. I don't have a problem with how she emerged. So,
no. Passion for obedience. Nobody can query
I'm going
that.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Look at what happened in ADC. When David Mark emerged, we all complained. What did they do?
They went underground.
They were on the ground. They got INEC. They had a NEC meeting. They
reached out to all the state chairmen.
They called all the state chairmen.
So why hasn't she done that? You've been a political space. You know how these things happens. Yes, you've emerged. You've been appointed as
You think it's to come to the media and make noise?
Why can't you arrange for NEC meeting for this to be ratified?
You know,
See now,
let me tell you.
Has he access to the state chairman?
Just that Nenadi is known to be really very good forerunner when it comes to obedience movement. Even before this emergence, people knew underground she worked for obedience movement. Otherwise, people could say, based on what she knows, people know that she knows. Her action is not in that line. Nobody's going to choose you as a party chairman based on emotion.
Before you move ahead, you see, this is what we have always said, you and I and every one of us. Politics is not about emotion. Agree that she's a experienced politician
and she loves obedient movement,
but she's becoming emotion. Emotion is blindfolding her from doing the right thing. Like he rightly pointed out, David Mark knew that they goofed at the beginning. So being an experienced politician,
they went underground.
Just like Usman, they went underground. Before you know it, they may not have known all the ADC state chairmen, but they reached out to them.
Yeah.
What is Nenadi doing to ensure the obedience? It's not being emotion. We agree that you want this a better Nigeria, a Nigeria that works for
you have to follow the rules.
A new Nigeria is possible, but the way you are going about it, you will end up not having that new Nigeria you think is possible if you go through this direction.
Right.
You need to recalibrate and change your
this
actions.
discussion, we could do it for the next hour, but we don't have time. I think by now, Nenadi should have done more. Reaching out to those, you said, is everybody's tenure expired? Is Abure's tenure that you said is expired? You should have reached out to people. Look at, for example, what David Mark did. Their name is on INEC portal today. You have done nothing
and you started
other
before
than wait to counter. Yes.
What is this?
Right, it's not about emotion. There are rules to follow so that Labour Party can be on a good standing. And hopefully, who knows? Maybe that will be the party P2B will ride on CON 2027. This is News Insight. We'll be right back.